Hello Aries, welcome to Timsy Naked Tarot, and welcome to your read. It will be a general read. It may or may not resonate with you. If it does resonate with you, that is fantastic. If it doesn't resonate with you, don't worry. Not every read can resonate with you. If this one's not resonating with you, maybe my next one I do will, or perhaps there's one in the playlist, the fire sign playlist, which will resonate with you. We're all on different timelines. Maybe you're a little bit behind where I'm putting at the moment. Maybe you're a little bit in front, and that's why maybe my next one will resonate with you. Okay, so all that being said, we are doing a general read on the full moon energies of the 29th of September. You had the Five of Cups come out in that particular energy overview I done. So this is probably going to be about something you are missing, something you are feeling some sort of loss and suffering about. It could be absolutely anything. Perhaps you've recently changed job for whatever reason and you're missing your old work colleagues. Perhaps it's a break between you and a romantic relationship and you're missing that. Perhaps you're just not in a romantic relationship at the moment and you're just missing that closeness and comfort which it supplies. Yeah, so take it as it resonates with you. You know your situation. I'm just pulling on the energies around it. Okay, the way we'll do the energies is in the top left hand corner will be the energies around your person who is just here. In the middle will be the energies of the situation between you and them, and at the bottom is the outcome the universe is kind of angling for. But we don't have to go down the universe's route. We quite often don't. We go our own way. Now, there's even been songs written about it. So we got the Death to go with that Five of Cups, and we have got the Ace of Cups to go with that Five of Cups. So perhaps there is something you are missing, something that is gone in your life and you're feeling that sorrow and loss of it, and perhaps you've just sort of woken up to the fact that it's never coming back, the Death card. But by the fact that you are now opened up to the fact that it's never coming back, that opens up the opportunity for new love, the Ace of Cups. Okay, so let's just give it a shuffle and then we will crack on with it. And that's good enough. Right. So the energies around your person. Oh, should we see who your person? Oh, I'll put an overall energy card off the bottom of the deck as well. You are dealing with another fire sign who's maybe a year or so older than you. Okay, and they are coming out as a bit of a person who goes after what they want. Now, this could be interpreted as a player, someone who goes out, even though they've got you sitting at home, they go out and they find someone else during the night and has pleasure and leisure with them before coming home to you. And so it could be that sort of energy, or it could be just like the energy of someone who doesn't really put anyone else before themselves and they go and do what they want to do. So maybe if it was in a relationship, maybe they're the sort of person who, even though it's your anniversary, it happens to fall on their Sunday golf round. So they go out and play golf anyway and just leave you sitting at home because of you don't like golf or something like that. They do what they want to do. They're driven by their passion and they don't really think about anyone else's passion. Well, they do, but not in that sense. And then they don't think they're the ones who have to bend over backwards to make someone else's passion happen. Okay. The connection itself between you two is justice. This is a little bit out of balance. I'm drawn to those scales there. They're not quite level. And the connection needs to be balanced. Okay, if a connection isn't balanced, it don't often work. Unless, of course, the whole reason the connection is there is to teach you a lesson. And then it's normally out of balance right from the start. So there is this element of trying to bring this back into balance within the connection. And the Five of Pentacles coming out for the outcome there. That is an energy of, well, it's financial loss, but it's an energy of loss. Okay, I'm going to say. This could be like a loss of something within the relationship. There's a, I don't know, a cold front brewing within the relationship. It could be maybe a loss of a job. If you just recently been fired, or maybe they've just recently been fired, I don't know, or sacked, made redundant, let off, however you understand that particular terminology, given the boot, however, right. So it could be something like that, or it could be like being frozen out of a situation, not this situation, but another situation. And we have the devil coming out as the overall energy of this read. The overall energy of this read then is a lot to do with being trapped in situations you don't want to be trapped into, somehow sort of being bound to it. It could be some sort of like toxic attitude, toxic habit, like drinking, gambling, drug addiction, and the like. Even addicted to sex. It could be any of those sort of things. It's something what's sort of deemed as not nice. It could be some criminal sort of activity of some description. Okay, so let's get some clarifiers out for this Knight of Wands then, shall we? And see where that is going for you. Now a little bit more detailed look at your person. Okay. Okay, so your person, they emotionally fulfill you, okay? Even though they're this self-passion driven person, maybe that's what you actually like about them, that they have that drive to do what they want. If they set their mind to whatever they want to do, they drive towards it. Maybe you like that sort of, what's the right word? Commitment. It shows that if they have commitment to that, one day they might have that commitment to you. So it's they emotionally, you're very attracted to them, and attraction is the right word with the Empress coming out with that. So emotionally you're attracted to them, not necessarily physically or even passionately, but definitely emotionally. They make you happy, they make you feel secure, all those sort of emotional things there. With the Empress coming out, they are the sort of person who does have their life together. They have pulled everything into control. They could be just a very controlling person. They appear to be lucky, and the reason I say appear to be lucky is because there isn't an energy of luck. There's lots of energies which create an appearance of luck. They, generally speaking, they're like a magnet which is drawing things into them. But because they're also in an Empress energy, they can see quite quickly the difference between what is good for them and what is bad for them. So when because they draw it all in, but before the bad gets right close to them, they can push that off and put it to one side because they can see it coming and just allow all the good to come in. There is love. We had the Ace of Cups come out in the split, and here it comes out again. So there is love for you, you have love for them, but it's a hard love. It's not a love which is easy, okay? It's a love for the compromises and things, and that's why we've got the strength coming out at the end. And it's also that they are a strong person with this sort of energy, which is their main energy. They tend to have to be a strong person to set the resolve to something because they want it. There is also a fear. I feel within them there is this fear of failure. They're always worried about that. And this is all crossed by the Page of Swords. This is a disappointment energy. And although this is the energy around them, as I said at the beginning, this is how you perceive the energy around them. They might not feel lucky or having their life together. They might not know that they are emotionally fulfilling to you. They might not realize all this love you have for them, or the love that they might have for you. Maybe it's sort of they just don't really understand these feelings of love, but this is how you see it. This is how you interpret the energy when you see them. So the Page of Swords coming up here, there is a huge disappointment around them. Maybe they act in a way which makes you just feel like it's never going to happen. They're never going to sort of eventually settle down with you. Perhaps you are not even with this person yet, and that's where this disappointment energy comes around. You see all that, and then you're disappointed that you haven't got it. Okay, so let's see where the Justice is going to take us in. Now this is the connection. Okay, and that is the read. So 9 of Swords, the Hierophant, the Death card coming out again. So it'd be interesting to see if our 5 of Cups comes out down there. It'd be nice if it does. Right. And the World at the end of all that. So the 9 of Swords. The 9 of Swords is a little bit of anxiety. This connection makes you or possibly them anxious. And what is this anxiety about? The anxiety is about the next step. Okay. And perhaps this particular knight is charging off to the left there. That means the past in tarot terms. Generally, anything going right, the strength for the going into the future, the knight is charging off to the left. So there's something about their past, a commitment in their past perhaps, or the fact that whenever the commitment comes up, and this commitment is not their normal commitment, okay, this is kind of more like a long-term marriage type commitment. It's a commitment to something what might tie them down and keep them in one place. There's a lot of anxiety about it. Possibly this person has been married in the past and they felt it was a trap for them, and that's why we've got this energy around on the whole read, this devil energy. With the Death card coming out here, there is something changing within the actual connection itself. Maybe it's a change of heart for them. Maybe it's a change of heart for you. Maybe you're just realizing it will never happen and you're starting to move on. Maybe you're the one who's anxious about this commitment which might never happen. But the Death card is saying that something is changed within the whole situation. But when it's changed, when it dies, when you have your favorite tree in the garden finally gets struck by lightning and you have to replace it, there you go, you have to replace it. Something new can take its place. In the wild, if a tree falls down in the woods, it creates an opening of light, which we call glades, or meadows, things like that, clearings sometimes. But it allows the sun to get down to the forest floor. Well, normally the forest floor is sort of in a twilight at best of times, because the canopy of the forest doesn't allow the light to get down to the floor. So when all of a sudden there's this light getting down to the floor, all these new plants start to grow. The seeds have been sitting there just patiently waiting for the right conditions, and then bang, all of a sudden they're getting the heat and the energy from the sun. That's the right conditions. Let's grow, let's start making flowers. That's why normally when you go walking through the woods and you find a glade, it's quite pretty. There's flowers and other types of things growing there, which also in turn attract different types of animals which you would normally have in the forest, or the animals of the forest get attracted to that area. It's that energy there, look. So the World card is saying that there is a new start. It's a big sort of something new is happening. It's not like a little thing. This is a complete change in life. So as I said right at the beginning, well, before I even started pulling any cards, maybe you're getting to the point where you're going, I got to walk away from this. It's not working. Okay, that 5 of Cups, which is the main energy. The 7 of Wands, it is a defensiveness around this whole thing. Someone believes they are right and they're fighting for it, but obviously if they're fighting for it, that means there's someone fighting against it. That's the energy of this connection. One side of this wants to go forward, wants to commit, wants to have something long term. The other side doesn't. They want to keep playing the way they're playing. They're wanting keeping it as a casual thing, not a committed long-term thing. Okay, so let's see what the Five of Pentacles is about, the outcome. Could be, as I said, a financial loss, but I just feel it's more of a loss of some description. Maybe, yeah, maybe you're the one who's coming around to the fact that it's not going to work. Maybe they've seen something what they deem as much better and they're moving off towards it. We got the Seven of Pentacles again, which links it to the connection itself. We've got the King of Swords. Okay, we got the Ace of Swords, and we got the Queen of Wands. Interesting. So the way it's panning out at the moment is this defensiveness is going to get to a point. Yeah, someone's pushing, someone's holding back, and it's going to get to a point where someone's going to take some big action. The King of Swords. The King of Swords is all about taking action. It's a card what represents authority figures. It's a card which is right underneath another card what represents authority figures as well. It represents the courts, the law courts. It represents the law, full stop. Your police and things like that. It represents people who are in a trusted position, so maybe a doctor, a teacher. Now, it also is knowing the truth and acting upon it, and right next to it is the truth. So if you keep going down this path, you're going to realize the truth of what this is all about. This is literally a complete waste of time. Okay? You're fighting for something. Someone's fighting against something. There is no give. There is no leeway. There has been no offer of surrender. There have been no offer of compromise coming from either side. You're both quite stubborn by the feel of this. But someone is going to be waking up to the truth and then taking action upon it. The fact that the Queen of Wands comes out at the end of this is kind of telling me that this is your person. Okay? They're going to take action on it. Now, this action could be that they're going to act and commit. Okay? Or it could be that they are going to act and go away. Either way, if they commit, yeah, their old ways have come to an end, which is opening up the door to a whole new chapter of your life. Or they finally give up defending or pushing. Maybe they're the ones in the defensive energy and you're pushing towards this commitment and they're defending against it. Maybe they just disappear out of your life. The Five of Cups, loss and sorrow. And the Five of Pentacles, being left out in the cold, getting ghosted. Okay? So maybe they disappear. The reason I'm going for that is because like the Queen of Wands is the next card up from the Knight of Wands, which is telling me they're elevating in their energy. Okay. The Queen of Wands is also an energy of someone who portrays themselves to the outside world as someone totally different to how they are inwardly. So a politician, royalty, actors, actresses, those sort of things, they don't necessarily have to be who they are when they're at home. Yeah, in the outside world, they have to be this person, this persona, which they've created to help them with their job. When they're at home, they don't need that. There is an element of it, otherwise you wouldn't be able to create that persona in the first place, but they don't need to rely on that to push things through. So there is this two-facedness about the outcome. And crossing it is our Knight of Wands again. Okay, so this is about the Knight of Wands. So yeah, maybe they've woken up to the truth that maybe they do have to settle down and they're going to commit to you, creating a new start. Their old ways are dying and their new ways are of loyalty and commitment. Or perhaps they've woken up to the truth and yeah, I could never make this work because you're too stubborn. You're too much like them. Okay? And that's what drives them off. Okay, so before we go any further, we will just quickly get a little bit of advice off the universe. Okay, so universe, what would you like to tell my Arians? Would you be Arians? I don't know. I've been doing this for what 2.5 to 3 years now on YouTube, and I still don't know what to call you as a plural. Okay. Aries is, no, it don't sound right, does it? Arians sounds better. I'm going to call you Arians. Okay, so can you tell my Arians some advice? And that was the card they wanted. There you go. So let's have a little look-see at that. Some advice, the Three of Cups. Okay. Now the advice could be, all this can be changed by going into some sort of group communication. I'm going to call it group communication because it might not be therapy. It might just be sitting down with a mutual friend and them being a mediator or something like that. And so, okay. And the reason I say a group communication is because that is what the Three of Cups actually is. When you boil it down and strip it down and everything, it's what it is. It's not always a third party. It normally involves third parties all the time, but it doesn't mean there's going to be a third person in your relationship. It might be that, but generally speaking, it is about communication. Okay, so this third party communication is all about the overall, the underlying energies to all this. The energies you're not really taking into account because they've always been there. A feeling of being trapped into something. Okay, we've got the Four of Pentacles coming out with that. We've got the Knight of Cups coming out with that. And we've got the Ten of Cups coming out of that. Okay, and so the advice is perhaps through some sort of group talking, getting someone else involved as a mediator, someone else who can look at the situation from both sides because they're not actually in the situation. And you start talking about your fears. Okay, that's what this devil is at the moment. Your fears, your hang-ups, your connections to things you're holding on to from the past. The Four of Pentacles, holding on to things. Sometimes it's called the greedy card or the Midas card, both of which is someone who hangs on to something. But there's fear wrapped up in that as well. You have fear of losing things. Yes, perhaps it could be something that was holding you back, but it's always been there in your life. And it's something what kind of props you up as well. It might be the thing what drives you forward as well as holding you back. And what the thing is, what this fear or greed of hanging on to is about your future. The Knight of Cups is said to be looking into that Ace of Cups he carries for the King, and he sees his own future in the reflection. He sees what his energies are going to be like in the future. Now I say he, I might have been saying he's and she's throughout this read. When it comes to masculine and feminine within tarot reads, we're not actually talking about the gender of the person. We're talking about either the energy of the card, the energy we're feeling, or just sometimes the picture. It's a he on there. Okay, so there you go, is that better? They are looking into the future. So the fear and the thing what's holding them back and the thing they feel trapped about is something what's happened in the past. Well, I've already told you that all the way over there. And this particular night is also going back into the past, because even though he's looking into the future, they're facing left. And we're dealing with the holding back, okay? Keeping something which should be better left dropped, and the attachment to it. But what they're looking for in the future is the Ten of Cups. They're looking for that person who, or the situation where it makes the person the perfect energetic fit for the other. Okay, the Ten of Cups is like emotional fulfillment. Waking up in the morning and smiling to yourself just because the other person's laying in the bed next to you. Okay, waking up in the morning and knowing that you're going to the job you love. Waking up in the morning and thinking, oh, I'm going to see my horse today and I'm going to make it all pretty and comb it all down and clear the shit out of the stable, make it all nice, and then we're going to go for a little ride through the country, and then I'm going to give it a big cuddle, and then I'm going to go home. Yeah, whatever this love and this emotion may be about, it is the emotion what like just fills you full of complete and utter joy fulfillment, satisfaction, and all that. Okay, so if you do get up with a third party, okay, and have this discussion, have this mediator between you and them to help the other side see things from a different point of view, there will be success. Okay, things will start to come together, but it will take work. The King of Pentacles don't get his success by doing nothing. He works hard for his success, and there will also be love. I just threw that out there as well. Okay, and I'm also going to throw the next card out, which I just saw underneath that King of Cups. There will be love, but it might be tentative. The King of Cups has this tendency to be a little bit indecisive, a little bit not sure about what he should do, where he should give his cup, okay, who should be allowed to drink from his cup, etc., etc. But crossing that would be the Ace of Pentacles. So we got the Ace of Pentacles going with our King of Pentacles, and we got the Ace of Cups going with our our King of Cups. There is a new beginning. It's going to take time, though. The Ace of Pentacles is the slowest energy in the tarot deck. It's going to take time. It's going to gradually build up into something bigger and better, because that's basically the energies of the Ace of Pentacles. So if this read resonated with you, fantastic. If it didn't, well, thank you for staying throughout the read anyway, because I've already said at the beginning it might not resonate with you, and if it didn't, you're still here. Okay, if you like this read, if you like the way I do my reads, if you have anything you would think I might be able to do better, or even a suggestion of what I can do a read on for the new moon next month, well, actually this month now, because we're into October, so the new moon in October, if you think of maybe you want a career, maybe you want an out-and-out loved one, maybe you feel like you want a twin flame, drop that in the comments. Let me know that you appreciated it. Hit the comment button, write me a little something. I'll get back to you as quick as I can. Also hit the thumbs up button. That helps the channel get seen by the algorithms, okay, which drive YouTube, and by me getting seen by more people, I can help more people, and that's what I do this for. Or I try to help people. I don't know if I do or not, because you don't let me know. If you think it's for someone else you know, yeah, share this out. Perhaps you think your children are going through this particular situation at the moment. Share it out to them. Let them have the advice as well. And obviously the last one, yeah, subscribe if you like this, because then you will get more content like it. Don't worry, YouTube only ever dishes out 3 recommendations or 3 newly published videos a day. So if I do 4, 5, 12, you're not going to get bombarded by it all in one day. Okay, so that is your read. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will catch you all next time.